Why do you keep trying to get up from a fall that only exists in your imagination? You've been told to fight your circumstances, to push back against a world that has pushed you down. But that is the great spiritual deception. Your reality isn't solid. It is a shadow projected by the state of consciousness you are currently occupying. And today, you will learn how to move, not in the world, but within yourself. Stay with me until the end, because the person who started watching this is not the person who will finish it. You won't just learn how to pick yourself back up. You will realize you were never down. Look closely at the tapestry of your life, the threads of joy, the patterns of sorrow, the vibrant colors of success, and the dark shades of what you call failure. You've been taught to see this as a story happening to you, a script handed down by fate or chance. But that's a profound misunderstanding of your own power. You are the author. You are the weaver. Every experience, every encounter, every single moment was born first in the womb of your own consciousness. There is no external writer, no puppet master pulling the strings. The operant power is you. It has always been you. The life you are living is a perfect reflection of the story you have been telling yourself, consciously or unconsciously. To change the story, you must first claim your authorship. You must stand in the center of your world and declare with unwavering conviction, I am the writer of this script. Nothing moves unless I move it. Nothing changes until I change it within. This isn't arrogance. It's the humble acceptance of your divine nature. It's the first step to reclaiming your throne. But that's only the surface. You are not just the author. You are both the sculptor and the marble. You see the external world as this solid, unchangeable reality, and yourself as the one being shaped by its harsh blows. But look deeper. The hammer and chisel are in your own hands. They are your imagination, your assumptions. Every time you assume a feeling, you strike a blow. Every time you entertain an inner conversation of lack or fear, you are carving that into the marble of your life. You are continually shaping your life's masterpiece, whether you are aware of it or not. The world has no choice but to conform to the image you hold of yourself. If you see yourself as a victim, the world will present you with oppressors. If you see yourself as unworthy, the world will hide its treasures from you. But what happens when you decide to sculpt a new form? What happens when you, the master sculptor, begin to see the magnificent being hidden within the raw material of your current circumstances? You stop fighting the marble. You stop blaming the tools. You simply begin to chip away everything that is not the masterpiece you have chosen to be. This is where your perception of failure transforms. You've been taught to see setbacks as punishments, as signs that you are on the wrong path. They are not. A fall is not a judgment. It is a profound opportunity for resculpting. It's an invitation from your deeper self to reveal a more magnificent aspect of your being. When a piece of the marble chips away unexpectedly, the master sculptor doesn't discard the entire block. No, he sees a new possibility, a new line, a new curve that he hadn't considered before. Your so-called failures are the universe whispering, here, reveal your strength here. Show your resilience now. Become more than you were a moment ago. Every stumble is a chance to learn how to stand taller. Every closed door is a redirection to a grander entrance. You are not being punished. You are being refined. The pressure you feel is not meant to break you. It's meant to reveal the diamond of your true self, the I am that is unbreakable, unchangeable, and eternally whole. Here's what changes everything. Understanding that you don't rewrite your story by wrestling with the current page. You simply turn to a new one. You select a different reality. This is the art of selection. Your past is not a fixed monument you must carry. It's a memory, sustained only by your present attention. Withdraw your attention from it. Stop rereading the chapters of pain and disappointment. They only exist because you keep them alive with your focus. You have an infinite library of possible life stories within you, right now. Which one will you select? You do this by assuming you are already the person living that story. You don't hope for it, you claim it. You don't wish for it, you inhabit it. Feel the reality of the state you desire. Walk as that person, talk as that person, feel the emotional signature of your wish fulfilled. This assumption, this feeling, is the pen that writes the new chapter into existence. Now go deeper. How do you truly write this new script? Through feeling. Feeling is the secret. It is the ink that makes the story real. You can repeat affirmations for 1,000 years, but if you do not feel the reality of what you affirm, you are writing with an empty pen. Disappear from your current state. Evaporate from the world of problems and limitations. Where do you go? Into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. If you desire security, feel the unshakable calm of being secure now. If you desire love, feel the warmth and radiant joy of being loved now. You already are this person. The external world is merely a shadow, a delayed reflection of your inner state. Don't try to change the shadow. Change the self that is casting it. Inhabit this new feeling, this new state of consciousness, until it becomes your natural dwelling place. Live there. Sleep there. From that inner world, the new story will be born effortlessly and naturally as your outer world reshapes itself in the image of your assumption. You have mistaken the actor for the role. You believe you are your failures, your successes, your fleeting emotions, and the name you carry. But that's only the costume. That is the character you are playing in this grand drama. Now go deeper. Who is the one aware of the failure? Who is the one that experiences the triumph? It is not the character. It is the silent, ever-present awareness in which both success and failure appear. This is the real you. Your true nature is consciousness, the great I am. It is the formless screen upon which the movie of your life is projected. It does not become sad when a sad scene is played, nor does it become joyful during a happy one. It is simply and eternally aware. To know this is to find the anchor in the storm. The world of experiences will toss and turn, but you, the awareness, remain unmoved, untouched, and eternally free. This consciousness is your only reality. Everything else is a shadow, a temporary modification of this one, unchanging substance. Think of it. Your body has changed since you were a child. Your thoughts are in constant flux. Your beliefs have evolved. Your circumstances are never the same from one day to the next. What is the one thing that has remained constant through it all? It is the feeling of I am, the sense of being. Before you were rich or poor, healthy or sick, happy or sad, you simply were. I am. This is the foundation of your being, the eternal ground upon which all states are built and from which they arise. It is forever present. It has no beginning and no end. It is not something you need to acquire, for you cannot be separate from what you are. You just need to recognize it, to become aware of awareness itself. Here's what changes everything. By identifying with this pure consciousness, you cease to be a victim of your own creations. When you are identified with the character, the temporary state of being poor, for example, you are trapped by its limitations. You fight, you struggle, you resist, all from within that state. But when you remember that you are the awareness, observing the state of poverty, something miraculous happens. You gain power over it. You realize you are not the state. You are the selector of states. From this higher ground of pure awareness, you can choose a new role to play, a new state to embody. This is the source of all inexhaustible inner strength. It's the realization that no matter how dark the scene, you are the light that illuminates it. You are not trapped in the play. You are the power that conceives of all plays. Now, go deeper. This I am is not just a passive observer. It is the operant power. It is God in you. This consciousness is the substance of all things. The entire universe is nothing but consciousness made visible. The chair you are sitting on, the room around you, the people in your life, they are all hardened assumptions, projected states from the one mind, which is your own consciousness. When you truly grasp this, the feeling of helplessness dissolves. How can you be helpless when you are the very substance of your reality? You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. The power that created galaxies and sustains life is not outside of you. It is your own wonderful human imagination, your very own consciousness. To change your world, you don't manipulate things on the outside. You rearrange the structure of your own mind. You assume a new state, and consciousness, being the only reality, obligingly objectifies it for you. So for a moment, be still. Close your eyes to the world of shadows and turn within. Feel that quiet presence, the silent knowing awareness that is listening to these words. Don't try to name it. Don't try to define it. Simply be aware of it. This is your true self. This is the I am. From this center of creation, you can select any reality you desire. You are not your past, your body, or your bank account. You are the pure, infinite awareness that gives life to all things. Rest in this knowing. Abide in this feeling of being. This is the foundation upon which you will now learn to build a new world, not with your hands, but with your mind. For when you stand as this awareness, you understand that your imagination is the only tool you will ever need. It is the workshop of God, and you are the master craftsman within it. You now stand as awareness, the silent, formless I am. But how does this formless power give birth to form? How does the unmanifest become the world you see around you? The answer is your own wonderful human imagination. This is the great secret. Your imagination is not a childish faculty for fantasy and escape. It is God in action. It is the very workshop of creation, the womb of reality. Everything you see was first an imagined act. The chair, the house, the city, the empire, all were conceived in the mind before they were ever born in the world. You have been using this power your entire life, but you have been using it unconsciously, creating from a state of fear, doubt, and limitation. You have imagined the worst, rehearsed arguments, and felt the sting of failure long before it appeared. And your faithful imagination, which knows only how to give form to your assumptions, brought it all to pass. Now you will learn to use it deliberately. To imagine is not just to see a picture in your mind's eye. That is mere daydreaming. To truly imagine is to enter the image, to feel its reality so deeply that it becomes more real than your present circumstances. It is a controlled, focused act of inhabiting a state. You must visualize yourself standing tall, yes, but you must also feel the ground beneath your feet as that triumphant person. Feel the radiant strength pulsing through your veins. Hear the words of praise or congratulations as if they are being spoken to you now. What would the world look like through the eyes of the person you want to be? What would you touch? What would you smell? Your imagination is a gateway to another reality. You must step through it, not just peek through the keyhole. You must become a participant in your imagined world, not just an observer. This is the difference between wishing and creating. This is assumption. This is the law. Your inner world of imagination and your outer world of experience are one. One is not the cause of the other. They are a single, unified whole, appearing as a sequence of events in your three-dimensional perception. But the creative flow is always from the inner to the outer. Always. Your outer world is a mirror, reflecting what you are doing in your imagination. And a mirror can only reflect what is placed before it. You have been trying to change your life by screaming at the mirror, by trying to force the reflection to smile while you are frowning. It cannot. It has no power to originate. It can only show you who you are being. Change the image within, and the reflection must change. Persist in the assumption of your wish fulfilled. Dwell in that imagined state. Walk as if it were true. And the mirror of your outer world will have no choice but to shatter the old reflection and project the new one. But that's only the surface. Your imagination is not just a tool. It is the most potent, irresistible force in the universe. More powerful than armies. More powerful than atomic energy. Because it is the source from which all things are drawn. When you truly commit to an imaginative act, you are not hoping things will change. You are commanding them to change. You are impressing your desire upon the formless substance of consciousness, and it must take the shape you give it. This is your operant power. You are not asking a distant deity for a favor. You are the deity, defining what shall be through the focused power of your own imagination. The world you see as so solid and real is actually fluid and responsive to your sustained imaginative acts. It is not your enemy. It is not an obstacle. It is your canvas, waiting for you to paint your masterpiece upon it. Now go deeper. Tonight, before you sleep, dare to use this power. Don't just rehash the day's troubles. Select the reality you desire to experience. Construct a short, simple scene, which implies the fulfillment of your desire. Is it a handshake on a deal? Is it an embrace from a loved one? Is it the feeling of a bank statement in your hand? Don't see it from the outside. Enter the scene, be in it. Loop it over and over, infusing it with all the sensory vividness you can muster, until it takes on the tones of reality. Feel the gratitude, the relief, the joy of it being done. Fall asleep in that feeling. You are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And if you are faithful to this inner act, It will grow in the darkness and appear in your world as a harvested reality. You are not escaping the world. You are creating a new one to enter. You have felt the power of your imagination. You have touched the reality of your desire within. And then the moment you open your eyes, the old voices return. The serpent of doubt. The whispers of, it's not possible. You're not good enough. Remember what happened last time. You feel yourself pulled back down into the state you wish to leave. What are these voices? Are they truth? No, they are nothing more than habits of mind. They are your past assumptions, past imaginative acts, which you repeated so often that they became automated. Your limiting beliefs are not facts carved in stone. They are well-trodden neural pathways, old recordings playing on a loop. You created them with your own power, and you can uncreate them with that same power. They have no authority other than the authority you give them by believing them, by identifying with them. Here is the secret to silencing them. You do not fight them. To wrestle with a negative thought is to give it your energy, to make it real. What you resist persists. You cannot overcome darkness by attacking it. You overcome darkness by turning on a light. Your new desired state, the feeling of your wish fulfilled, is that light. When the voice of doubt appears, you do not argue with it. You do not try to convince it. You simply and gently turn your attention away from it and return to your assumption. You replace the negative thought by imagining yourself as the person you wish to be. If the thought says, I am poor, you don't shout back, no, I am rich. Instead, you ask yourself, how would I feel if I were wealthy? And then you embody that feeling. You turn your back on the shadow and face the sun of your assumption. The shadow doesn't die in a fight. It simply disappears when the light is present. This is the art of moving from one state of consciousness to another. A limiting belief is simply a room you have been living in. The belief I am unworthy is a state, a collection of feelings, assumptions, and inner talk that furnishes that reality. You have lived there for so long, it feels like home. But it is a prison you built yourself. You don't break out of this prison by tearing down the walls brick by brick. You simply unlock the door with the key of your imagination and walk out. You disappear from that state. You do this by no longer giving it your mental residency. When you catch yourself thinking from the old state, you recognize it and you move. You deliberately assume the feeling of the new state. You furnish the new room with loving, abundant, and successful thoughts. At first, it may feel unfamiliar, like wearing new shoes. But if you persist, that new state will become your home, your natural way of being. The old state, starved of your attention, will wither and die. Here's what changes everything. True perseverance is not about forcing your will upon the external world. It's not about gritting your teeth and battling through obstacles. That is the way of the man who believes power is outside of himself. True perseverance is faithfulness to your inner vision, to your assumption. It is aligning with the natural flow of life, which moves from the unseen to the seen. Challenges will appear. The outer world, the mirror, will take time to reflect your new face. During this interval, your faith is tested. Every problem is an opportunity to practice. Do you react from your old state of limitation, or do you respond from your new state of fulfillment? Do you believe the shadow in the mirror, or do you believe in the self that is casting the new image? Perseverance is simply the act of continuously returning to your assumption, regardless of what the world of senses tells you. Now practice this. Become the silent watcher of your mind. For the rest of this day, do not identify with any thought that passes through your awareness. See them as clouds drifting through the vast, unchanging sky of your I am. When a negative thought or a limiting belief arises, simply notice it without judgment. Say to yourself, this is a thought arising from the old state. I no longer live there. Then immediately return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Feel the warmth of success. Feel the security of abundance. Feel the love you desire. This is your true home now. This is not denial. It is a declaration of your new reality. It is the highest form of spiritual discipline. By doing this, you are not just changing your thoughts. You are changing the very self from which all thoughts flow. You are pruning the vine, ensuring that only the fruits of your desired reality can grow. You are now at the very heart of the mystery. The secret to a new life is not found in changing things, but in changing self. And the art of changing self is the art of assumption. To assume is to claim what you desire as already yours. It is to disappear completely from your current state of consciousness and to fully inhabit the state of your wish fulfilled. This is not pretending. It is a profound act of selection. You are selecting a new reality from the infinite possibilities that exist within your own consciousness. You do not ask for permission. You do not hope it will happen. You walk with the quiet, confident conviction of one who has already received it. You assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You feel it, Wear it and live from it until it hardens into fact. This is the difference between the dreamer and the creator. The dreamer lives in a state of wanting. The creator lives in the state of having. Your assumptions are fed and sustained by a constant stream of inner conversations. Listen closely to your mind for a single hour. What are you telling yourself? Are you rehearsing arguments? Replaying failures? Anticipating trouble? Your outer world is a perfect, living embodiment of your inner conversations. You are always talking to yourself, and the world is always agreeing with you. It is your most faithful servant, echoing back the nature of your internal dialogues. To change your life, you must change what you say to yourself when no one is listening. You must begin to have the inner conversations you would have if your desire were already a concrete fact. This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about being loyal to the unseen reality, to the state you have chosen. Your inner speech is the rudder of your ship. If you want to change your destination, you must first change the direction of your thoughts. Here's what changes everything. You start to think from the end, not of the end. Thinking of the end keeps it at a distance, as something you are striving for. Thinking from the end means you are already there. Ask yourself, if my dream were true right now, what would my mental conversations be like? You wouldn't be worrying about how to get it. You would be thinking from a place of fulfillment. You might be mentally telling a friend the good news. You might be planning the next step after your success. You might be feeling a quiet wave of gratitude. Capture that inner dialogue. Construct these conversations in your imagination. Rehearse them. Feel the reality of them. Make these new, loving, and successful conversations your mental diet. If you persist in this, your inner world will shift, and your outer world, having no choice, will follow suit. Now go deeper. There is a powerful tool to accelerate this process: the art of revision. At the end of each day, review the events that occurred. If there was any moment, conversation, or scene that was unpleasant or contrary to your desire, rewrite it. Reimagine it as it should have been. Did you have an argument? Reimagine it as a harmonious conversation. Did you receive bad news? Reimagine the scene where you received good news instead. Replay the revised scene in your imagination over and over, with feeling, until it feels real. This is not about denying the past. It is about redeeming it. You are changing the cause of your future. By revising the past, you are replacing the foundations of lack and failure with new foundations of success and fulfillment. This daily practice cleanses your mind and cultivates a profound inner sense of abundance, making it easier and more natural to live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. So now you hold the keys. You are the author, writing your script with your imagination. You are pure consciousness, the selector of all states. You overcome the shadows of doubt not by fighting them, but by turning to the light of your assumption. And you make this assumption your home through your inner conversations and the daily practice of revision. You no longer need to look outside of yourself for a savior, for a sign, for permission. The operant power is your own consciousness. The I am within you is God. Pick yourself back up, not by force, but by remembering who you are. Disappear from the state of the fallen one and assume the state of the risen one. Live from this new state, this new self, and watch as the world rearranges itself in perfect harmony with your assumption. You already are everything you desire to be. You simply have to consent to it. The fall was just a state of consciousness, and you have just left it. What you feel right now is the only reality. So the only question that matters is this: what magnificent state are you going to assume right now? Let me know in the comments below. Declare the self you are now choosing to be. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because this is a journey of remembrance. And do not stop here. If these words have awakened something in you, the next video is your next step. Click it on the screen now and go deeper.